The official newspaper of the Borough of Belmar and the Asbury Park Press on December 7, 2017, and notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could you just remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops and their families. Thank you. Can we meet down here? We have a very special proclamation for some very good soccer players. We'll have somebody you guys recognize, right? He'll read the proclamation, and since he can pronounce all your names.
I'll tell you what, how about when I say your name, you stand up so everybody can see who you are, all right? Is that all right? Okay. Whereas the Belmar Elementary School boys soccer team had a winning record of 13-0, 11 regular season wins, 2 playoff wins, and whereas the Belmar Elementary School boys soccer team captured the 2018 Monmouth County Athletic League's championship, and whereas on Thursday, November 1st, 2018, the Belmar Elementary School boys soccer team defeated Spring Lake Heights Elementary to win the championship, whereas the Belmar Elementary School boys soccer team consists of their coach Brian Bassman, Frankie Viterbo, Braden Check, Ethan Miller, Topher Lynch, David Cobbs, Rory Mather, Gavin Lisco in Florida, right? Ever Mendoza, Brandon Gonzalez, Chris Greenlow, nice. Cameron Kowalczyk, Pat Woodruff, Matt Donovan, Matthew Hope, Jonathan Nguyengas Lopez, Michael Juarez Rojas, Alex Nicholas Barragan, William Cruz, Jorge Cruz, there you are, Jorge, Landon Herbert. There you go, that's a big hand for the boys. And then Lieutenant David Hallman. Mr. Hallman, if you would stand up. Yeah. There you go. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Belmar hereby honor and congratulate the Belmar Elementary School boys soccer team and their amazing accomplishments in what was a terrific season. Well done.
Okay, great. Guys, you want to come on up?
Yes. While they're coming up, if I could just thank the borough for recognizing them tonight, and a special thanks to Councilwoman Nicolette who set up the invitation. And Chief, thank you for allowing the students to go on to the fire trucks. I think they're always going to remember that. And it just reminds us of the championship team back from 2012 during the storm. And if I was to define this group with one word, it would be grit. And I'd like to thank Mr. Bassman for his leadership. So if we could give, boys, could we give a round of applause for Mr. Bassman?
Mr. Bassman, would you say a few words, please?
Sure. I want to say thank you, obviously, to the council and the entire community for really supporting them all season long. They're really, I tell everybody this, but they're really a really nice group of kids. They're great kids. They're going to be great people. And it was just a pleasure to have them around all the time. And the fact that we had a successful season just makes everything even better. So thank you, everybody, for your support. Thanks.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Brian. Good job.
A lot of fun. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now we'll move into the workshop discussion. This is our annual best practices checklist, and I'm going to give it to you, Colleen, and take us through it, please.
Sure, this is our annual exercise working with the Department of Community Affairs, Division of Local Government Services. They issue a checklist of best practices to all municipalities in New Jersey. And we, between myself, April Claudio, the Borough Council, and our CFO, score ourselves on best practice metrics. We've done very well. We've scored an 85%, always room for improvement. A few areas that we're going to work on prospectively moving forward. We're going to make this available on our website. There's a copy here with the agendas for the public to peruse. We will be submitting this to the division, I think by Friday it's due. I like to point out, it's great to do this, and it's a good exercise for all municipalities to complete. We're looking at things like how many municipalities completed all their financial disclosures, how timely were your audits, and things of that nature. The state tends to tie this to what they call state aid. And as we all know, it's not actually state aid, but our own energy receipts tax that gets cycled back to us. And so us scoring an 85% ensures that the state will not try to deduct any of that money that is already ours. So we will get our full allocation for the year. And again, identify a few things that we know we can work on for next year.
Who grades this?
We do this ourselves. It's a self-assessment that we then submit to the division.
And how do they verify it?
Through review of our audit, our annual financial statements. Some of them are softer questions than others. You know, some are very, right. Some are very, does your municipality publish required notices regarding professional service contracts? Yes, that's easily verifiable if it's on our website. But it's a good exercise that we complete every year to ensure that we get every penny of our receipts tax money back.
Do they weigh the questions differently?
There's some that you cannot skip. So it's a very complicated spreadsheet as you're going through it. There's some questions that you can't skip. There's some that you can say prospective, others you can't. And they change it every year. So we get new questions really almost every year.
Oh, so they supply the questions?
Yes.
You have to supply
And
the
we
answers?
have to supply the answers.
Okay. And 85, I mean, is that the mark you have to get the state aid?
The minimum score to not have anything deducted from you was a 46, and we scored 52. So we're well above the minimum that you would need.
Any questions? What?
No.
Tom?
No.
Okay, thank you. We'll proceed with submitting.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll move to petitions. Is there anybody out there in the audience that wish to step forward with a petition? Seeing none, we will move to the approval of the minutes.
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting held on October the 16th, 2018 be approved as recorded and that a copy thereof be posted on the borough's website. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Councilman Ossifer?
Yes. Okay, now, reports of council.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to say that Election Day was yesterday, and I'm glad to see how many people came out to vote. I'm very humbled on the amount of votes that myself, Pat Wan, and Jim McCracken received. And I'd just like to say to Mayor McGovern and Councilwoman Nicolay that thank you for your years of service up here on the council. I know it's not always easy, so but I do want to thank you for all the years you put up here.
Thank you. Tom?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I really only have one thing, and I want to thank Joan Correll for letting me make this announcement. The Veterans Day service, we have 2 services coming. This Sunday, November 11th, is Veterans Day. So the service is going to be at 9:30 a.m. at Monument Row on Main Street, corner of Main and 12th, right there where the trees are. This is I think it's the first time in 18 years that I'm not going to be there with students from Belmar Elementary School because I'm going to be away. But Naomi Reiser has made arrangements, Naomi Reiser from the Historical Society, she has made arrangements that the pipes and drums from St. Brendan and Navigator down in Point Pleasant, they're going to come up and they're going to make music for the ceremony. Very nice. Really happy to hear that. You're in very good hands. You could do a lot worse. Okay. On Tuesday, November 13th, is the memorial service for the Juno. And those of you, I don't think anybody here doesn't know, but just so in case there is, the Juno, there's a plaque out in the lobby. The Juno was a ship that was sunk during World War II. 4 young men from Belmar were on the boat and lost their lives. The ceremony to honor them is Tuesday the 13th at 8 p.m. at First Presbyterian Church, corner of 9th and E. The men's named Francis E. Class, Alfred J. Fergiaro, Joseph R. McConnell, and Robert E. Sherman. So if you're around, that would be really good. I hope to see you there. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Jen?
Nothing real specific. I know that they're still taking names for the Belmar Youth Club, so please sign up. And there are also basketball registrations. Please visit the Arts Council, as I always say, because they've got great exhibits going on, and shop local.
Very good.
Yep.
First, Mark, I'd like to congratulate you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Good victory yesterday. Tom, I just want to add to what you said about the Veterans Day Society, Veterans Ceremony. The Historical Society is going to have over at the Doughboy Park at 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month, the 100th anniversary of World War I. And they're going to have a bell ringing activity there. So if you have a bell, ring it. It'll be solemn. And I believe Naomi is also trying to get the pipes and drums
For that, Joe. I think she did.
After the 9:30 ceremony at Memorial Field, the Historical Society will be having a little something in this room until about 11 o'clock, then they'll walk out over to Doughboys Park. Other than that, that's the... yes.
I do want to congratulate Pat. It's a good race, thank you very much, and Jim and also Mark.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, and you're taking over the town from very good hands. So keep us happy and safe.
Thank you. All right, now move to the public session. Public session is on the resolution, only on the agenda. We will continue to have a public session at the end of the meeting. So if there's anybody in the audience that wants to step forward and speak on anything on the resolutions, please step forward. Seeing none, I will make a motion to close the public portion of the public session.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Does anybody on the council want to pull anything on the consent agenda? I just have one question. This resolution approving membership of applications for volunteer hook and ladder. This kid, Lambros Comitas?
Obscure reference, I'm sure not many people will know. But
Who is
yes,
this kid?
Our newest and greatest member of our fire department is none other than the son of George.
Wow, special. And Lambros in a few weeks is going to be getting his Eagle Scout award
Yes,
from
he
the
is.
Troop 40. So moving from the Boy Scouts into the Hook and Ladder Fire Company. So on the consent agenda, all matters listed in the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the Borough Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Do I have a motion to vote on the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Councilor Walsifer.
Just one question, Colleen, on the change order for the sidewalks. What is that?
This is final resolving change order. It's a small negative amount to close out the contract.
Oh, okay, yes.
Now, that program of the sidewalks, that was extremely successful, but it's now come to
It has
the end,
come to
right?
completion, and we will now move to assess people for the cost of their sidewalks.
Okay.
So that'll be over the next several months.
What about sidewalks that were not repaired, that people chose not to take care of?
Code enforcement has been in touch with folks who have not chosen to repair it on their own or participate in the program, and they will be facing penalties.
Okay, good.
How many sidewalks were done?
Gosh, I
Approximate
don't have the number
ballpark.
in front of me. It was a
Around
lot.
400?
This was phase 2. I think we did 300 phase 1 and another 300 phase 2. I can get you the final numbers. I'll circulate them.
Okay. Moving along to ordinances, second reading and public hearing. So is there anybody out in the audience that would like to step up to the microphone and speak about the ordinance 2018-16? Seeing none, I will close the public portion of ordinance 2018-16. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, an ordinance of the Borough of Belmar amending Chapter 29, Water Sewer Utility Department to create regulations for sump pump connections. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second?
Okay.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Mayor McGovern?
Yes.
Councilor Walsifer?
Yes. Colleen, can you just explain this ordinance, what it's going to do about the sump pumps up?
Yes, so this came out of a lot of feedback that council, you would receive from members of the public after several of the heavy rains that we've had. The Department of Public Works has really done a phenomenal job going around town and addressing some areas where standing water may exist after a storm. But what we've continually experienced is that there could be an inordinate number of illegal storm sump pump connections, both to our sanitary sewer or just discharging to the street. So what we're doing here is clarifying within our own ordinances that you cannot, no discharge shall be directed to impact neighboring properties. It cannot become a stagnant water problem. It's going to do two things. One, it's going to give us some additional ammo for enforcement as we are going around and identifying these. It's also the first step of what's going to be several pieces of education for the public and enforcement for the public. So we've had many conversations about trying to identify homes that have maybe illegally tied into the sanitary sewer with their sump pumps. So we're coming to you with more recommendations in the upcoming weeks.
That costs us money when they illegally tie in.
We're essentially paying to process stormwater as sewage.
How can we find out those people that are illegally hooked up?
Well, the going theory right now is that we would do a smoke test, and this is done with proper notification, and we go quadrant by quadrant, block by block. But you can basically inject smoke into the system, and if somebody is illegally tied in, you will see the appearance of that smoke in their basement. We do a lot of notification, so people don't have a lot of freak out factor, and we go block by block so that we can identify and see it.
So in other words, someone won't suddenly panic that their house has smoke in it, there might be a fire, so we'll notify them.
We'll be doing a lot of notification. There's also been discussion at request of members of mayor and council that we do a grace period. So we notify folks that we will be doing this. We encourage them to get legal before we do the test. And then there will be more notification just prior to the test.
Okay, and obviously the smoke is harmless. Yeah, okay. Okay, moving to the public session. If there's anybody out in the audience that would like to step forward up to the microphone, please state your name and give your address and see what you have to say. Sir.
Charles Peters, 202 19th Avenue. In regards to the remediation of the water, who's footing the bill on A Street? Is that us or them?
The work we did today,
Yes.
that's us.
Okay. So you're going to do that for everybody?
I'll do it for when I can. The pipe was right there. The total cost for that was about $100 for 3 houses.
Oh, you got 3 in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, my name's Ann Peters. I'm also a resident of 202 19th Avenue. We need to discuss the situation. I'm going to give everybody a copy of an ordinance. Everybody had given it to, I'm sorry, your name was, sir?
Sam Hunt.
Sam. We have also photos that we can add to exhibits if you like.
I send you, everybody,
Right.
a copy of this. And
I'll hold it up for everybody to see too also.
our next door neighbor's letting someone park a truck in their driveway.
Yeah, I've seen it, thank you very much.
And
You like
I
to-
wrote to the code enforcement person about it. They got tickets for parking out in the street, so that's a traffic violation.
There was 2 trucks that were parked on the street. The history is the first truck was Summertime Fun. The second truck is Gold Medal. These 2 vehicles received a ticket parking on the street. I observed and noticed that the individual from Gold Medal started parking on the 19th Avenue driveway of my neighbor, who was literally right next door.
Yeah.
Okay? I saw the man come out of the vehicle and I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me why are you parking on the street?" He said, "Oh, the homeowner is allowing me to park at the driveway. I received a ticket. I'm not allowed to park in the street." Well and good. That individual is not a resident of the home. That's the first issue.
And your response, Mayor, was that he should probably park down by the railroad tracks.
Because we have a lot.
Yeah, there's a place
Right.
for trucks like that, for people that want to park there, but I don't know if he's allowed to by the company. The company might say you have to keep it on your private property for insurance purposes. But in any event, it's been there almost a month.
You mean it hasn't moved?
Oh, it
No,
goes out to
yeah,
work.
it's out.
Back.
Yeah,
Okay.
and whether it's working the night shift or day shift or
It's
whatever,
there all weekend.
you know,
No,
And
I'm sorry,
there's
I hate
two-
to interrupt, but the fellow who's driving the truck, he doesn't stay in the house, he just leaves the truck and leaves the area.
yeah, he goes over to,
We
one
don't
of the
know for
houses that you
sure.
were doing the, sump pump for.
Right. The house that currently where he parks in, it's a residential home. The homeowner rents out rooms. Whether she has a CO to rent out rooms, we don't know. Haven't gotten involved, not an issue, that's her business.
Okay.
Along with her rental property, that's her business.
Right.
The problem is this individual is parking in the driveway and it's causing problems. And I want it on record, and the reason why I got upset, as you can tell, pulling out of my car, my driveway
Can't
is
see.
difficult.
But
At night,
it would
I
be
was pulling
difficult
out
to
one
force your
time
window
and
down
someone was
too.
walking and I didn't see the person with their dog. Very upsetting.
I don't blame
Yeah, I was upset.
you. I don't.
Okay,
So
so
it is
we
a problem. It's a
contacted
safety
code
issue.
enforcement several times, and I don't know, he's buddies with her
We
or
have Chuck,
something.
please, but we don't know about that. But the problem is, I really truly do not believe everyone is looking at the ordinance and reviewing it. We need
Legal advice.
legal advice to review it.
Now, you understand, I mean, I did look at the ordinance, I saw what I saw, and I didn't, and I'm not a lawyer, so I can't,
Right.
I didn't see anything in here that would really, yeah, I could be wrong, but I
That's
didn't-
why
it didn't
we
seem,
really-
right, really specifically say, no, you can't park back there or
Well,
something.
it does
But
say
it's-
you have to be owned by a resident, though.
Well, that I think is a really pretty important thing. And one other question occurs to me, I mean, is she letting them park this truck there out of the goodness of her heart?
Probably if she's doing
Who
it, there's
knows?
probably monetary money involved
Well,
in it.
then that is definitely
Well-
an issue, because I don't think that's,
Our sister has a house where the guy's staying.
We
And
don't
she
know,
doesn't
we
even
don't
have a
know,
driveway.
please,
well,
we
you don't know
for
that either.
sure.
That's a
That part.
possibility, but we know.
We don't
All right,
know.
let's deal with facts that we know.
Yeah, but I did not see the man when he parked the truck, he walked away from the home, and it was pretty obvious he was,
It says he has to be a resident, whoever owns
Right.
the truck. That can be parked where it is on the side, it says the side yard.
You know, it's
But
meant
it
to
says-
keep plumbers and
Sure.
electricians,
We're
allowing
parking
them
at their
to
house,
pull
and,
their,
right, and
you know,
going inside and
trucks.
having their own
The
day.
problem is, you
This
know,
is like a little bit
right, the
over.
problem is, we all know, and I'm glad everybody's here to know this too, our real estate value in Belmar is going up. Would we all agree?
Yes.
Okay. This is not gonna help the situation. And I think everybody in the neighborhood in Belmar should take pride in their property and respect your neighbors. It's not happening. Have we over the years called on her to say you've never gotten COs? You put in illegal, with the hot tub, no, you know, hey, you know what? It is what it is. You try to keep your peace, you gotta live next to people. This is ridiculous.
Let me ask our attorney, I know you're on the spot because you're filling in for Greg. Do you have an opinion there?
Well, I did take a look just now at the ordinance, and it does seem like the purpose of the ordinance is to, like you said, control the aesthetics of the community. The highlighted section B1, I don't think that's necessarily relevant, but for section 16, B16, it does state that a vehicle of that size, I don't know if that's 18,000 pounds or less, can be stored on the side or the rear. That picture indicates that it's in the front of the home. It is on the side?
Yes.
Okay, because I think the purpose of that ordinance is so that if there are vehicles of that size, would be in the back or the side, so that people driving by or going through the town, it's not as visible. The fact that, that's on the side?
It's on the side of their house, the front, our front.
It's
Our
on the front
side.
of the face of the house,
Right.
correct?
Right.
It's on the front of the face. I think that purpose of the ordinance is to have trucks like that on the side or the back, so that it's not necessarily.
You ride the
public
street.
view. Correct.
Well,
And it's
I-
also not, the person is not a resident of the property.
Right.
And
that's
also,
what's
it
in the
does say
ordinance.
that it can be stored in a side or rear yard. I don't consider that a yard, I consider that a driveway.
It's a
So
driveway.
I think that's also going against number 16. Whether it's 18,000 pounds or not, I don't know. I don't know if it has a weight.
And other neighbors have mentioned it to us. I say, oh, you're the lucky ones that got it, because
But
the
I-
other summertime truck is not parking anywhere.
And these aren't Walsifer trucks.
I'm not gonna-
No, those are definitely. But yeah, I mean, personally, I would think that it's not a side yard and it's not the resident.
Colleen,
What can we do?
have you spoken to Bob Hoff about this?
I have not spoken with Bob Huff directly. I know for Claudio has, we were going to review the ordinance with council and provide some more clear direction if those was.
Let's see what-
Maybe code enforcement can call the company, because a lot of times when you're calling the company on a professional level, they'll make him move that truck, and maybe not even allow him to have its take home.
My
So-
sister-in-law does business with Gold Medal, and she saw it, and she said, you ought to call the company up and complain.
But we said, let it go through the town. We were suggested to do
Yeah,
that.
so maybe, our code enforcement could give a call to the company and see if they could help out in that situation. This way, I mean, the main objective is not to give a ticket, but to get
Yeah,
it out
get
of
the
the
truck
area.
out.
So, and this is, to be honest
they
with
could
you,
drive
this has
a mile
caused
to the train
conflict
station.
for me. I get out of my driveway, it's hard to pull out, not even that, if I want to take a walk now, I don't even want to go on her property. I cross the street and I avoid it because of the incidents that we've had. I just don't want to deal with anything anymore. And that's why I didn't want to even bring it up to her, because she knows well. The homeowner knows what's going on. That's why we said, let's publicly address
They
it, put it on
must have called
record.
somebody, because they said, the town says we can do it, so who's the town?
Yeah, okay. So Kyle, tomorrow, can you either have Greg contact Gold Medal or yourself? And I agree with Councilman Walsifer that coming from an official of the town, this guy probably just is a franchise of it.
Oh, he's probably
No,
a
he's just-
hourly
yeah,
worker.
So
He's probably
Right,
the-
hourly
they'll
worker.
probably tell him to move it, so as not to be,
If he doesn't work
he's
on the
losing
weekends,
customers.
he's there all weekend.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a shift on the weekend, literally it's there Friday, 5 o'clock till Monday morning.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Sorry for your problem.
Thank you, everyone.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I make a motion to close the public portion of the meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sure.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.